Kevin, plenty of chances in that game. Could you have taken something from it?
I think so. I think everyone who was here today would be the same opinion as me. We deserve to take something from the game. I think started the game really well. Game seemed to knock us a little bit, and then we gradually grew back into the game and finished the stronger team and stuff. And then obviously second half we got them to go and have a go. We changed the system a little bit in the second half. And as I say, we got into numerous situations. It just didn't quite drop to us today. It's a frustrating day at the office, really. I think performance-wise there were some good performances out there. It was a good, solid team performance. Moved the ball around really well against a team who were obviously full of confidence, and just had a couple of good results against Salford as well. So we knew they'd be up for it, but I think we kept them relatively quiet. They had a couple of breakaways when we were chasing the game, but other than that, we controlled the game. So frustrating one.
A couple of really good chances at the end of the first half, and some wins again in the second half. What was lacking? A bit of composure, a bit of craft, or was anything else?
Yeah, it's one of those things. You know, we've got quality in there, and we moved the ball really well. I think the formation and the players that we picked for the game was a positive one. Wanted to come here and try and win the game. So, like I say, the game plan was there. People were following it, and we moved some of the best phases of football we've seen for a while. And it just didn't happen for us today. It's a frustrating one. Like I say, lots of positives to take. The boys are disappointed in there, obviously, but we watch the game back and we'll analyse it as a group. And in terms of we've lost the game, I think we've lost games in a certain way in recent weeks. But that was a good performance from the players overall. People scratching their heads in there, disappointed, obviously, and wondering why we didn't take something from the game. So. It's one of those days.
4 players have left this week. I'll ask you a bit about the squad in a couple of minutes. One of those players who left was Jordan Hallam. Do you think kind of his craft, his ingenuity, his movement, do you think that was missing today?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Jordan. We chased him for a number of weeks to get him in there. It was a decision obviously by Sheffield United to call him back there for whatever reason. Short numbers, needed to take a look at him. So we know what he brings to the squad. He's a fantastic player. Should hopefully go on to have a really good career for himself, and there may be an opportunity to bring him back in a few weeks' time, see what happens at Sheffield for him. So he has to decide that, and the club decide what's best for him. But it gives an opportunity for somebody else to come in the team and take the opportunity. So like I said, Lower who've been sat out for the last few games, come in and try and impose themselves on the game. That's what football's about, trying to take those opportunities that are presented to you.
Yeah. The only goal came early. Tom Graves, he still scores goals for FC United. Their player manager just seemed to make that run in behind the defence. Yeah. What was your assessment of that goal? Yeah,
we've not seen it back yet. It came from a bit of a. We had a couple of sloppy square passes. I think it was Lynch who made it and trying to get us playing and stuff. And it was just one of those runs in behind, and that's something we've been working hard on in terms of the shape and not conceding goals, which we've done in the previous 2 games. Obviously, John and myself been looking at that and trying to have the base. So it's a disappointing one to concede. Like I say, you have to watch it back, and it could be a communication, and whoever it is, just a shout. But that's what he does. So a disappointing one to take, really, because I thought we started the game really well.
Josh Hyde went off early. How's he?
He's struggling. He's limping around in there. So felt he heard something. So.
Is it his ankle, is it? Or?
Yeah, I think he got it stuck in the ground. I think the weight's gone through it rather than a kick, which we would prefer. So, see how it settles down in probably the next 48 hours and see how it is. It's disappointing because he's really coming to the team and had a massive influence on us. So, it's a tough one to take. But again, as I said before, it's an opportunity for somebody else to come in. People frustrated, sitting around, not getting enough game time. So, yeah, we'll see how he is in a couple of days' time.
Performances generally have been improving. We obviously got the win the other day and the draw before that, surely. How do you think the squad is set now for the new year, the rest of the season, as you look forward? Yeah, I'm really pleased with the players we have in there in terms of the quality and the confidence. Obviously, the win was massive against Chorley, and the performance on Boxing Day as well to get the 2 clean sheets against a very good team. Give us a lift, and obviously it'd be nice to go on and run ourselves now. We've had a defeat today, but overall pleased with the work that we've done in the 2-3 months, whatever it is I've been here now. So still a little bit light on numbers in there, so we're still working hard to add to the group, but we'll only bring the right people in as and when they become available. So we're still working hard to improve the squad. I think 1 or 2 injuries, people getting called back on there, and we'll have decisions to make next week, and hopefully maybe bring 1 or 2 in just to give us that bit more depth and options going forward. So that's ongoing. I say it's quite a difficult process, obviously, to
for a new manager to come in and assess the group and make those decisions. So there will be players going and players coming in hopefully in the next week or two.
As you say, it has been a difficult process, but when you look at the players out there, most of them are ones you've brought in. Do you see the squad is kind of developing as you kind of want to see it in your own mind now? Do you see your mark being made on the team?
Yeah, I think so. I like to think, the last 3 performances you've seen big improvements on the performance, the shape, the organisation, all the things that it takes to win a football match. And John's come in alongside me and works very hard with the group. Lots of things going on in there, and they're taking it on board. And I think we're looking a lot harder to beat, which is the main thing. And playing some good football at the same time. I'd say it was a difficult one to take today. The point would have been the minimum based on the performance and the amount of possession that we had at the game, but it wasn't our day today. So overall, very pleased, disappointed to lose, always will be. But I feel I've got a group of players in there that will respond in the right way now. We'll come back in on Tuesday, dust ourselves down. And like I say, the improvement I said to these boys, I think it was on Thursday when we trained, is from when I came into where they are now, it's certainly gone like that for me. The standard and the ethic and the togetherness in that group of players is there for all to see. Just need to keep transferring that, having the belief that we can go on and win more football matches, which I think we will do with a group in there. It's been a massive turnaround for me. And I'm proud of what they're doing in there as a group, and that's what you need in football. You need that togetherness and people fighting for each other, and a real team spirit and a real hard-working ethic. And I think it's coming. There's loads of football to be played, and I'm confident we can go on a really good run, a winning run hopefully, with the games that are coming up. And I say there's lots of positives to say. I'm disappointed we've lost the game, but I think performance-wise, the fans will have seen some good football to be played there. I think if we scored one, we'd have gone on to win the game. So it's one of those frustrating days. We have to move on and keep working on as a group.
And just finally, 4 players have left this week.
Yeah.
A further 4 have been made available for transfer. Is that purely just the case of balancing out a top-heavy squad, and have there been any more developments in terms of those players who have been made available for transfer?
Yeah, I mean, we've had the discussions with all the players that are on that list, and like I said, everybody's been given the opportunity, and you have to make decisions as a manager. I'm not afraid to make those decisions, and it's based on football, it's based on the good of this football club. It's not an easy one to take as a player when you're put in that position, but it's part of the game, how to make the big decisions based on what's right for this club, and I feel I've done that, and hopefully all things will be done in the right way, and we move on as a group, and that's part and parcel of football. It's never easy, but I'm paid to make those decisions based on what I see every day, and I'm confident I made the right one. So we move on as a group, and as I say, we try and bring 1 or 2 in if we can to help the group. There's been 1 or 2 things going on last week, which been a little bit frustrating again, but it's a process, and it's never easy to do mid-season, but we're getting there, and I'm confident that it's keep performing like that, maybe a little bit 5 or 10% more, even better than that against teams coming up, we'll win the games comfortably. So that's the message to the group. They're all disappointed, but I think performance-wise it was good to win.
Appreciate that.
All right,
thanks a lot.
Cheers.